Imagine America without jazz, without blues, without rock and roll, soul, funk, or hip hop. What are you left with? Quite possibly marching band music and hymns, and that's it. I mean, that's the whole playlist. And that's not an exaggeration, that's history. Everything that is loved about American music started with Black people and Black culture. And considering the improper recognition, the whitewashing, and in many regards, the denial of Black history taking place in the United States, past and present, people need to hear this undeniable fact right now. It's an uncomfortable truth, but it's a truth nonetheless. If you strip Black contributions from American music, you are stripping the nation of its heartbeat, of its very soul, and of its influence on the world. And what remains is social and world stagnation. Let me explain this way. Without Black culture, music doesn't become this acculturated process that embodies both European and African influences, as it is taught to me in college. But without Black American influences, music doesn't even progress towards a new and distinct musical languages. It remains stagnant, it remains stale. Now, I'm not just saying this to be controversial. I'm saying it because it's a fact that too many people either don't know, don't accept, or are trying to forget. Black musical history is American musical history. The two can never be separated. They're the same story because every syncopated rhythm, every call response you've ever heard in a song, every moment that made you feel something came from enslaved Africans who brought their music and their instruments with them. And out of that came this cultural significance, elevated and expanded by the descendants of those enslaved. Let me lay it out this way. Jazz, born from Black expression, pain from the need for freedom. Blues, same story. Gospel, the church. Negro spirituals reverberating around praise and deliverance and worship and ultimately survival. These aren't just genres. These are living documents personified from a people's experience and will for survival. And then there's rock and roll. And look where it came from. Chuck Berry, Sister Rosetta Tharpe, Little Richard, Bo Diddley, and countless unrecognized Black Americans. They didn't influence rock, they created it, only to see a very minimal return on their ingenuity with mass appropriation, the soul of their work stripped of its essence and repackaged to white audiences without acknowledging them creatively or financially. It had to be hard to see your contributions unrewarded before the general population as a means of maintaining Jim Crow and segregation. Then there's funk. James Brown. He literally invented a new way to feel rhythm. Soul. That's Otis Redding and Aretha Franklin, with the vocal prowess to make you cry and dance in the same song. Hip hop. An entire art form. Music, dance, language, culture, fashion, resistance, built from the ground up in Black communities with its roots based in the Caribbean, where enslaved people first arrived in the New World before traveling to America. These genres were all born from the Black experience, Black ingenuity and innovation, literally birthed through the Black pain and people's rising above the subjugation of an unrelenting and hostile nation. As a student of music history, I remember matriculating high school and college, beaming with pride, discovering the incredible contributions of Black people on the country and the world. And even today, as hip hop remains the standard as the best selling musical genre, along with pop music, Black music still doesn't reap the financial benefits, and Black people don't reap the financial benefits of our creations. And this history can never be understated, whitewashed, or erased, ever. I said all of that to say this, and where it gets uncomfortable. Black artists built America's musical foundation. And there are forces right now today actively trying to erase it and attempting to do it right in front of our faces. Who and what's threatening our contributions? A caucusocracy led by some of the most profoundly ignorant and unqualified people in government, starting with an unfit, immoral demagogue posing as president, with a ragtag group of immoral, racist people who do not respect Black people, Black culture, or our contributions to the country. But I'll talk about that in another video some other time. And two, believe it or not, AI. Yes, artificial intelligence. Sites like Udio and Suno are training or have been trained on data sets that already have racial bias baked in. The data sets that aids AI underrepresent Black voices, Black history, and Black perspectives. With these platforms trained from information past and present, elevating the white male patriarchy as the default, as if it's the primordial truth, then this reproduces a Black inferiority baked into its output and dispersing of information, if not biased historical truths. Hard to believe, tools like Suno and Udio were hit with major label and independent lawsuits detailing that large catalogs of popular music created by Black artists were trained on massive catalogs of copyrighted music, with the greater majority created by those Black artists and without authorization. These sites can mimic Drake, Beyonce, Kanye, Michael Jackson, whoever. Now, whether successful in their lawsuits to stop or alter these sites from unauthorized use of copyrighted material, the damage is done. Black artistry is being fed into a machine and coming out the other side with no credit, no compensation, and frankly, no soul. But let me go back to this point about this caucusocracy, which is a very weird name. But let me explain it to you this way. Diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in museums, corporations, and arts funding are pretty much non-existent now as a result of government policies targeting people of color. And the result, there's less funding, fewer opportunities, fewer platforms for Black artists and Black artistry. And many ignorant people justify this unscrupulous practice as Black fatigue. It's blatant racism. It's erasure. And frankly, if anybody should have fatigue in the United States, it's Black people with white racism. Number 4, cultural appropriation. Through the inception of Black ingenuity, this never stopped. Black styles in music, dance, fashion, language, innovation, it's oftentimes co-opted by white performers and corporations, repackaged and sold to white audiences without giving credit to its originators. These people receive no compensation and no acknowledgement of them as the original. And I find that criminal because everybody wants to be rewarded for their work. Now, if this is hitting you different, drop a comment and tell me which part surprised you the most. And subscribe, because this is the kind of conversation that educates to spur positive change. Now, let me paint a picture for you. What does America sound like without Black culture? No jazz, no blues, no rock and roll, no soul, no R&B, no funk, no hip hop, no disco. Gone, all of it. What's left? Traditional European marches, folk songs, Anglican hymns. That's your playlist. That's your radio dial, music subscription, and streaming library. No call and response, no syncopation, and no polyrhythms, no improvisation, and no emotional depth that makes you feel like the music knows you and you feel the soul of the music. No Chuck Berry, no Prince, no Michael Jackson, no B.B. King, no James Brown, no Sister Rosetta Tharpe, no Aretha Franklin, no Stevie Wonder, no Tupac, no Beyonce. What do you have? America's global cultural influence is gone. So without Black culture, American music doesn't just lose genres. It loses its heartbeat, it loses its pulse, and it loses its power. It becomes hollow. And honestly, the rest of the world probably stops paying attention. I don't think you're going to get a lot of K-pop. But here's what I want to leave you with, because I'm not here to just point out problems or deny white Americans' contributions to American music. I'm here to remind you of something. Despite all of this, the AI bias, the funding cuts, the appropriation, the tokenism, Black artists are still innovating, creating, and building spaces, building our own networks and our own media platforms. That's nothing new. It's resilience. It's the same spirit by which all of these creative art forms came out of. Black musical history is American musical history, and the two are forever tied together, forever linked. Our heritage as Americans is inescapable, and yes, it belongs to all of us. And we must continue to teach this truth for future generations and the propelling of society forward. Truth is worth protecting, especially with such division in this unprecedented time in our government. So, if you agree, subscribe and share this video, and I'll see you in the next video.